This torque tube was like, I think it was €1,200 delivered. This is now just trash. It's too expensive to send back to the States, and nobody in Europe's ever going to want one, so I think Ryan was saying we might make a bird feeder out of it. What's up guys, and welcome to another episode of the Drift Games vlog. Today we had big plans. We were going to take the Golf, which we just pandemmed, and we were going to take it for a spin with the Cayman here, and we were going to have a lovely little photo shoot and a drive and all that kind of stuff. And then I realized I should give a public service announcement to everybody who thinks this doing up cars and modifying and all this stuff is just the best fun ever. It is, and it isn't. Almost all of them are problematic at best. So I'm going to run you guys through what's holding us back on some of the cars, what the work they need, and then I'm going to ask some opinions from you guys of what you think we should do with them. So I'm going to kind of throw it out to you guys. You might have some more knowledge than we do on some of the problems we have, and then we're going to look at a 1,000 horsepower GTR, which is like going to cheer us up a little bit at the end. So let's do a little tour of the cars and talk to you guys about what I think is good, bad, and everything that's been slowing us down. So we're going to start with the car that we left off with last week, which is the Golf. Right, Blaine, so we're taking some photos of cars here because that's cheering us up a little bit, because
yeah, because none of them work.
Because none of them work, right? So here is the Golf. It looks great.
It does.
So you guys will remember on the last episode that the wheel was actually hitting the inner arch in here. So we got these, they're like a hub relocation kit, which worked absolutely perfectly. Straighten out the back wheel. Absolutely straighten out the back wheel. I don't think you can see it it's kind of behind the hub, but that was perfect. Then I looked at it and said, hold on a minute. They have made the car 15mm wider. So now we've got to machine the spacers on the back to make this car actually run, which would be a small problem. And you're saying, Dave, come on, you're modifying cars, machining some spacers, that's not a big deal. Well, it goes on. The ride height, it's nice. But the coilovers that we have in this car, which are very cheap coilovers, are atrocious. So we're gonna get some BCs, Blaine.
We are.
Some BCs.
Expensive ones,
and I think we're going to do a little video, showing you guys the difference between like €300 coilovers and proper BC racing coilovers, and I think it's going to be the easiest transformation ever because these are woeful. Does the problem end there? No. When we went to put the lights in last week, they look great and they all work, except for some reason there was no dip beams bulbs in there. Not a big problem, you say. And on the normal headlights, you just open the bonnet and put in a bulb, right?
Yeah, but no, that wasn't quite easy in this.
That's not what happened at all. These lights, for some reason, have 4 screws on the back of each, which means that you can't get to them unless you take off the bumper, the wing, and then the wing also has a wing, and then the bumper also has a wing. And
so the whole front end had to come on.
The whole front end had to come on. Then we got the lights working, and we said, that's brilliant. We got the lights working. We got confident. We did some headlight alignment. And then Wayne said, in you go, Dave. See you later. And how far did I get? Roughly there. That's how far I got. When you drive it up to about 20 kilometers an hour, the traction control comes on and it fuel cuts the car to a dead stop.
Yeah.
Plug in the OBD reader, no faults at all. And because it's such a crap spec of a Golf, there is no traction control button to turn off.
Yeah.
Then we said, aha, we'll take the ABS out. The Christmas tree came on the dash, and
the handbrake doesn't work
because it's on the ABS. So yeah, any suggestions of what we'll do to get rid of the traction control in this car and hopefully make it spin again? That is a bit of a pain right now.
Because realistically, it's never going to spin wheels anyway, so it doesn't need traction control.
Not with 255 tyres on the front of it will it need traction control. We also made a funny observation, because we had the old Golf wheels for this, and we realised that if we took the old Golf wheels, we could actually twin axle the back of this car and still fit it under the body kit.
We should do that.
We could put 2 16-inch wheels together and it still would be the same width as what it is now with the spacers in the wheels. Anyway,
so it's a Julie Volkswagen.
Julie, we could do a Julie. That really would make it a commercial then if it had a Julie rear end. Anyway, moving on from the Golf. Let me get my phone here now, because I have to write this down. Really good looking car, but it was never really driven on the road, and it was built to be a show winner. So as a show car, This looks fantastic. We put wheels on it, put tires on it, great. Here is what needs to be a road car. So the sunroof doesn't work. We have no sunroof lining, no B-pillar interior, no C-pillar interior. The door cards are falling off.
20 minutes later.
And there's no wipers, and there's a few other bits and pieces as well.
Scuttle panel.
Scuttle panel. The list goes on. So now that we're getting this far, I'm kind of two minds, and this is going to be down to the audience now. I have two options with this car. I'm going to do all that stuff anyway mechanically and get it working really, really well. As you'll see with the kit, just from sitting around and the time and the sun and everything it's had, it's kind of just cracked a little. It hasn't been hit anything, it's just kind of cracked a little bit on the paint.
I mean, it's not a new car.
It's not bad, and it's not a new car. This car wasn't built like yesterday. This car was built a few years ago. So I've got a choice. Here's my vision. We take off the Pandem kit, we keep the car the same colour, we do a M3 front bumper as we have it, we do like a more aggressive DTM style black front lip, we do some GTR grills on the bonnet, and we change the kit from a Pandem kit to a felony form kit, which is like more of a drift style full over fender, and it would just change the look of the car completely. Keep the spoiler, keep the colour, keep the interior, keep the cage, keep the exhaust, all that stuff. But yeah, should I say Pandem and restore it, or should I change to a felony form kit and do something different? You let me know in the comments. Next up, the RX-8. Seems to start okay, seems to run okay.
It is the loudest car I've ever been
Needs
in.
a back box. Handbrake needs to be repositioned because it's really weird where it is. Other than that, that was pretty much it. I think everything else is okay. This is actually, of all of the cars you see here, only 3 are road legal, and this is one of them because it still has an NCT to log it. But I don't think you get too far in it. But I like how this car is coming together. It's looking okay. It is a missile car. We'll probably put a front lip, some stickers, and just go out and have fun. Not too much to report. PS13, everybody's favorite, hasn't done anything really, and the reason it hasn't done anything is because the VRT office, which is where the vehicle registration is, and the customs and everything with this car, because it's coming from the UK, it's just a nightmare to figure out. And then every time you figure it out, they push you back your date, so I can't get it registered for another couple of weeks. So it's just sitting here looking pretty. It works, there's nothing wrong with it. It's actually 100%. I'm actually pretty confident it'll be fine, but
you just can't actually enjoy it or take it out.
Can't enjoy it. It's very windy there. My Drift Games, when I get one of these Drift Games hoods to fly into your face, you can pick them up on the shop. Then this car is just brilliant. This is the best car I own. It's the best car I've ever owned. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care what anyone thinks they know about these. This is the best handling car I've ever owned. Everything works. It's got all the modern features. It sounds better than any car I've ever driven. Flat 6, real cracks, pops, bangs, automatic blip on the downshift, 350 horsepower, handles better than any car I've ever driven on the road with the mid-engine. Perfect.
So when are you getting rid of it?
This is staying. This one is not annoying me.
Yeah.
This one is not annoying me. These ones down there though, we'll get. But this one is not annoying me at all. Now, simply put, I have to wait for the Golf to get fixed. The BMW is going to take a little bit longer than I thought. The RX-8 will be okay. This I can't register. This is what I'm driving every day and it's absolutely perfect. But we've got some more problems inside. Would you like to come and see some more problems with the other cars? Of course you would. Here at Drift Games, we absolutely love online drifting. But more importantly, for you guys watching at home, we want to get you in the game as well. So we've partnered up with digitalmotorsports.com, Ireland's first online sim store, who are experts in everything when it comes to online drifting. And they're going to give you guys a full free sim rig at the end of this series. Now I know you want to know, how do you win? But it's quite simple. Every single episode of Games Changers, we're going to release a letter. It looks a bit like this. And that letter will form a sentence. And at the end of the series, the first person who can put that full sentence together correctly wins a full simulator. Now that's not bad going. So we are in the garage. And as you can see behind me are the drift cars. Which, if you think road cars are misery, this one and this one are probably the biggest misery that we've ever taken on. The MX-5. The MX-5 is coming along pretty okay. I'm gonna show you guys the list of stuff Ryan's put on the board. Look at that. Lots of black lines put through stuff, which means that it's getting closer. It's about, I'd say it's about 85% there. There was one problem, wasn't there?
Yeah, the steering rack doesn't fit.
So the steering rack, and I don't know if I can show, I'm gonna have to go down here. So the steering rack's not in here at the moment. I suppose there's a pneumatic, like, fluid goes in and out.
Basically there's two pipes coming out of the steering rack. and one went straight up into the alternator belt and the other went straight up into the crank pulley.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's off to get changed.
That's off to be figured out.
I'm not sure what they've decided to do as of this
I think the
moment,
plan now is to bung up where the original holes were and then put in some new holes, or new, what would you call them, fittings, and try and figure it out. But other than that, it's looking pretty good. And then it's going to be down to the aesthetic stuff, which is all the body kit. I know Fender's landed here yesterday for it, but Blaine, the story is not so good.
No.
With the old Corvette-aroo up there. And by this very upbeat talking that you're hearing, it is absolutely put on, because I am very, very annoyed about what's going on with this. But take this and I'm going to show you guys.
I think
Lower the tone.
lower the tone a small
Lowering
bit.
the tone. So, right.
And may I just say, this is real frustration. It's not acted, put on. This is definitely 100%
So the box we've been
Dave's
waiting for-
real emotions.
Yeah, the box we've been waiting for a very long time arrived, which should be exciting, and it is. So in this box, it came from HDK. There is about 14,000 euros worth of parts, but that sounds like a lot, but it's actually most of the Corvette in this box. So what we've got in this box is a Winters quick change rear end, a massive clutch,
Which is outrageously heavy.
So this is rated for like 1200 horsepower. So I'll take that out. And then we have the Samsonis gearbox. These are my drive shaft shop. I can never say it. It's like tongue twister.
Drive shaft
shop. Axles. So these are the rear axles and hubs, which are rated for 1,000. I think it's 1,200 newton meters torque, something like that ridiculous. So
That is quite ridiculous.
They are not going to break, we hope. The gearbox is rated for the same, so is the Winters. So that's all brilliant. But when we got to put it together and we tried to mock it up a little bit, we ran into some issues, as we always do. So this is the shifter. So it's a custom shifter from HDK, because the normal Samsona shifter is so far away from the gearbox, because the gearbox is at the back of the car. It runs on this cable. This cable, as you guys can see, goes in there, and then that goes back to the gearbox, which goes in here. But there's a part here and here to hold this in, and that is not in this box. Also, we then put this on, which is the adapter plate to the torque tube. To realize, Blaine, that the torque tube that I bought is wrong. So I had an automatic Corvette, as you guys know. I bought a manual torque tube. Torque tube is like the prop shaft guard sort of, so the prop shaft doesn't come through the floor of the car, because the floor of the car is fiberglass. And this one is a manual one, but what I actually need is a Z06 manual torque tube, which I didn't know until we started putting it together. And then I got on to my good friend Matt Field. This is kind of my mistake, to be honest. I took it for granted that a manual gearbox for that car would just plug into the Samsonis, but I need to go for the uprated one. However, the bell housing, which is this part here, right, which actually goes the other way around at the end down there. This is from the actual manual version of my car. So you need the bell housing from the manual version, you need a Z06 torque tube, and then it gets an adapter plate into the Samsonis. The Samsonis has an adapter plate into the Winters, and you think you're all good. And then the clutch obviously has a release bearing and all that stuff with it. So what we're in a situation now is that Christoph's from HDK is getting back to us on Monday, and he's letting us know, because there should be like a thing that shows the gear select in the Samsonis. There's a couple of bits just missing. We were in a panic with HDK to get this, so we're hoping that they just forgot to put it in the box. But we accepted that this box would come in late with all the stuff. We accepted that it would be down to the wire. Now we're in trouble, because
But we thought everything would just bolt straight in, it would be okay.
we thought it all just bolt in, and Wayne's like, there's loads of stuff missing. And then there was an even bigger blow with the fact that this kit does fit, but I thought this kit, because it's like all for this particular car, would just fit into the standard subframe, which it now looks like it does not. So
Bring us over and show what needs to be changed.
I'll show you the misery. So you guys will know that we powder coated the rear subframe with Paulius, and we thought that the Winters would just sit in here and all that kind of stuff, but apparently now we need to cut this subframe here and here to allow the Samsona or the Winters to come further back, and then this piece goes in here.
To add strength back, because you're cutting
that out, yeah. So we'll now need to cut this through our powder coating, and which I'm really annoyed about, and somehow manage to aluminium weld this into there and cut that. And that's something we didn't plan at all on doing. So
and that's difficult. If it was steel, it'd be fine, but because it's aluminium, it's a lot harder to weld.
It's a lot harder to weld. So basically, if we had, like, we obviously were waiting 5 months for that box. If we had that within 2 weeks or 3 weeks, like, you know, I've watched other YouTube channels, once you have the box, we would have figured this out in December. So there'd be no panic. But we couldn't figure any of this out until we actually saw it go on the car, and now we are a week away from the dyno. The torque tube, I ordered it last night from America as the 06 one, and they're saying it'll be 2 weeks.
And
I have 1 week.
Just to remind people, when did you order this?
So I ordered the whole back end of the car and the drivetrain on the 15th of November. It arrived on the 16th of April. And on the 17th of April, we now know a lot of it is not there, or we have to change this, or we have to get a new torque tube. So not fun. It's also not cheap. And like, we're really at the end of the budget now on the cars. Like, we're kind of over budget as it is. So every day of more work, every day of more parts, stressful, like really stressful, because like we can't just make up money out of the sky. We have a budget, so whatever, like if I go in at this end of it now, this might offset, this could offset like race suits, this could offset another part of the build that we can't afford. So I'm hoping the solution for this isn't too bad. Ryan says he's going to look into this on Monday on the back end, but the torque tube, without the torque tube we can't do anything. Christoph's getting back in touch about the bits we're missing. Hopefully Monday's a better day, so we get a solution to all of that. But yeah, I'm now getting very doubtful about the Corvette being ready for mapping in the time frame we have, and I think Josh's car will make it there. That's the way we're hoping. But then it's all going to come down to when does this torque tube arrive, and what pieces are we missing, and how much do we have to work on this.
Which is coming from America as well.
Coming from America, yeah. Now at the moment we're getting stuff from America quicker than we are from the UK because of the customs issues. So hopefully every component on this car is literally custom, or more or less. So anything you change, you've got to modify something else if it has to change. So a lot of people will be saying, why did I go for this? It turned out that for me to operate the diff on a Corvette and ship it from the States was more expensive than a Winters, which doesn't make any sense. And the standard manual T6060 box with the uprated gears to handle the power running was actually the same price as Samson's sequential. So there's no way around it. You couldn't do a cheaper option or a simpler option. And remember, this car was originally automatic, so we have nothing. Everything from that engine right back is useless because it's all automatic. So yeah, that's where we're at with the Corvette. Stressful times, clock is ticking down. We're gonna try and get as many videos out as we can to you guys, but we're being real with you guys. You know, we're not sugarcoating everything anymore for YouTube videos. We tell you how much the stuff costs. We tell you how much the stuff is. We're gonna cheer ourselves up, like, because one of the guys rang me this morning and said he had a 1,000 horsepower GTR, and I said, you know what? I want to go look at a working car, a fast car, and then that might give me some like encouragement to get my own cars done.
Can I stop you there for a second? 1,000?
1,000 horsepower road car, yeah. And he's like, lives local. And he was like, do you want to come down? Oh, he wanted to come down and see the builds, but he was like, I'll come down and bring the car. And I was like, oh yeah.
Yes, okay.
And we'll go for a spin in it and we'll have some fun. So this is the misery of building drift cars, and building road cars. So there's all the problems we got. If you guys have any solutions you might want to offer up, help us out, let us know. And let's just go look at a GTR that works, that's fast, so I can get a little bit of inspiration what this is going to be like, what the cars outside are going to be like.
And to cheer us up.
And to cheer us up. And it's a nice sunny day here. So yeah, I think I hear the sound of a GTR outside, so let's go check it out. Hold that thought. We love our drift cars here at Drift Games, but we don't drive drift cars on the road, we drive sensible cars. And if we're in the market for a used car, we come here to Moorfield Motors. These guys have an amazing selection of everything from luxury cars to first-time buyers to commercials, which means they've always got something for me or for Mike.
Jeez, that's a lovely van.
So if you're in the market for an amazing used car, check out their full stock list online at moorfieldmotors.ie, and if they don't have it in stock, they can source it for you. This is nice. This is special.
Nice.
This is very special. Why am I holding my phone? Because the man that brought this down, he doesn't want to be on camera. And sometimes people don't want to be on camera. Unlike us playing, who love being on camera.
Speak for yourself there.
Yeah, he didn't want to be on camera, but we wanted to show the car. So this is a GTR, as you guys have already, I don't need to explain that part. And it's red. But it's not just any GTR. 1,086 brake horsepower.
Christ.
You can see this little badge here.
James 1200.
Yeah.
Wow.
Do you want to know the spec? I've got the spec here.
Go on, run through it.
Run through it. Forged engine. It has the transmissions mapped, because obviously these are automatic, so it shifts better. CP pistons, Crillo Robs, June 264 carms, oil pump. It has got...
You know what, tell you, let's do this around at the front.
Oh, let's look at, let's pop the bonnet.
Let's pop the hood.
Let's pop the hood, bro. The handles on these, I will say. Let's do that again. Like that.
Nice.
It's better when you're looking at it, isn't
Start
it?
again.
Start again.
Start again.
With the engine spec, because you can see it.
Oh my god.
Good God. So this is a VR38, as you know, with two Garrett GTX 3582 turbos, teal wastegates, streamer pipes. Like, this thing is the real deal. Look at the twin teal wastegates there. This thing is like badass for a road car.
This is outrageous.
Carbon.
Those intakes are gorgeous.
Look at that, look at the welds on those. What does a car with 1,068 horsepower, like, this is a road car, like, whatever about a drift car, whatever about a drag car, race car, this has a number plate on it. This is a legal road car. That's insane. Should I start it up and give it a little blip? Yes.
That's a pretty silly question. Start it up, Dave.
You ready?
Quite subtle, I must say.
It's not too bad, is it?
Quite subtle on tick over.
It's not bad.
I can imagine not so subtle when we get moving though.
A little rev.
Go on. Yep.
That's not subtle.
That's not subtle.
It was subtle for a minute, and then I pressed this button called the accelerator, and it wasn't subtle at all.
Yeah.
That thing is outrageous.
Let's get this out on the road.
I think we should take it for a spin.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah. That is so tasty. Oh my god, does that say ethanol?
It does. Ethanol content analyzer. Does that mean?
That sounds very
Don't know what that
jazzy.
Oh, I'm a bit scared. Are you a bit scared? It's 1100 horsepower. I've never been in a car with 1100 horsepower, are you?
No. I'm trying to imagine what it could feel like.
Is there a handbrake I need to release?
I mean, I'm going to start comparing it to roller coasters, I think, because...
So where... I'm just going to say, is there a handbrake on this? Because there's a little light on it that could just be normal. I don't know where the handbrake is. I opened the boot. That's not good. That's the handbrake, obviously. I'm a moron. See how nervous this makes me? Right, you ready?
Alright, go on.
Here we go.
Oh my god!
Christ.
Oh my god!
Oh, that's not even... That's frightening.
I will admit, I let out quite a shriek there. And that was 100% real. Oh my god.
That spun all four wheels in second gear, like in third gear there.
That's mind blowing.
I don't want to do that again. That's frightening. I couldn't control that. That was literally...
I saw you were fighting that. I could see that you were fighting that steering wheel.
It just wanted to go wherever it went. Because you can tell it's got big turbos. It just kind of has this lag where it goes, yeah, I'm not that quick. And then, oh, Jesus!
It's almost as if it goes, you've pressed the accelerator. Are you sure you want to do this?
That is frighteningly fast. I don't even know if I'd want this. I don't even know if I'd want that speed. That's like motorbike stuff. We do it again?
I think so, yeah.
Are you ready?
If I can hold it steady, go on.
Hell. Jesus Christ. Oh, I'm not even sure I enjoyed that. That is like, you know when you're on those roller coasters and they fire off at the start and it's like that feeling, like my stomach is in the back seat.
God.
I don't even know what to say. I feel I'm scared now.
I'm lost for words. I really, really am.
That's insane. This has cheered me up quite a bit from all the misery from the cars. That is almost uncontrollable. That's almost uncontrollable speed.
Yeah.
This has ruined every car for me now. You know when you say, oh, it's a fast car. It's not a fast car. This is a fast car.
Yeah.
Every car I have is slow. This is like outrageously fast. And it's not even like, you know when you get into like a normal GTR, it's so grippy that you feel comfortable going fast because you feel like, oh, it's got traction, it knows what it's doing, it's got this, that, and the other, it's doing that. It's sort of like a computer game.
It's handling things.
It's handling
okay.
What's going on. This, all of that goes out the window. Like, all of it goes out the window. This is the last one, I'm not doing another one,
Yeah,
it's frightening.
I'm totally fine with that.
You okay?
And I'll try hold it steady if I can, but go on.
I'm doing the same thing, Ben, don't worry. Let's go. It takes a second, let the boost come in.
Are savage as well.
Yeah, brakes are really good, and they need to be. That is,
Wow.
that is 1100 horsepower. And I know 1100 horsepower to you guys at home, it's like, oh, 1100 horsepower. Like, you know the way it's figures?
Yeah.
700, 600, 500. That is a feeling I have never felt before in a car. Never in my life.
Like, I can only compare it to roller coasters.
Like an M4 feels like a Nissan Micra compared to that. Absolute machine.
Bring it back. Rocky's not happy.
Rocky will bark at anything. This thing will bark back. I'm telling that for nothing. What an incredible car. I've now completely re-thought about what fast is. I don't even want one. It's too fast. It's frightening.
I think the two lads that brought it over are laughing at
They're
us.
laughing at us now because they know. They were like, I'm telling you, you know when you go, oh, it's real fast, lad. Oh, it's, you know, it's a real weapon. It's real quick, and you go, look, this lad probably think, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've heard lads with, you know, Civic say that. Oh, it's just real fast, real quick. This is frightening. They were not lying to me. They were very honest people. They said, you will be under pressure driving this car. I have a lot of respect for any man that, one, wants to drive it, two, would drive it around at all, and
three own it.
I fear for anybody who would try and race this car. Anybody who races this car, they're in trouble. Guys, next couple of days, you know what, we're going to be fixing all these cars. We're going to be fixing all our drift cars. We got like 8 days to get the drift cars finished. We're under real pressure, you can see it. It's fun, we're enjoying it, but it is stressful. It's late days, it's late nights, and the other work, we're doing a lot of other video shoots. We were working on a really cool project yesterday that comes out next Friday, but we're back on our full day media shoots as well, so trying to do it all at the same time. Thank you so much for all your kind words of support on the channel. They really mean a lot to us. We read all your comments, and if you've got any advice on how to fix any of the cars or what we should do, or you can help, let us know. Thanks so much for watching another episode. I'm about to catch my breath because I've been in the fastest road car I've ever been in my life. So we'll see you on the next episode, guys. Back to the drift cars, back to the road cars. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. We'll see you on the next one.